So recently, we've just received one of the biggest updates to the change of EC rulings and policies that we've seen in a long time. And today, I'm here to break it down for y'all. So what exactly changed, and more importantly, how this is going to affect most of us. Because here's the thing, even if you're not an EC buyer today, even if you're looking at a private property, this affects you too. And I'll show you exactly why. The key thing is not just about the rulings itself. What we all want to know is, what does this mean for us? Whether you're a first-timer trying to get your first home, you're looking into buying an EC, you've tried to ballot for an EC but have yet to succeed in buying one, second-timer looking to upgrade, or even someone already in the private market, here's what I want all of you to take note of. There will be an influx of buyers in the market moving forward who suddenly have no properties for them to buy. And when that happens, they have to look at something else. So stay with me because this one is important. Hi again, my name is Manda. Welcome to episode 3. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, I'll walk you through the EC policy changes and what the new EC regulations are. Then we look at why the government actually felt that there was a need for this change. Then after that, we'll talk about the impact, and this is the part most people are not fully understanding yet. I'll do some concept case studies using actual past EC launches so the numbers actually make sense for you to relate to. After that, we'll look at the 5 upcoming EC launches that are not affected by the new rulings. Then I'll briefly touch through where prices are heading. And finally, how you should be thinking about strategizing your purchase across these next 5 EC launches. So let's get into it. Just last month, the government announced new EC regulations, and there are 3 key changes I want you to take note of. Firstly, MOP, minimum occupation period, is increased from 5 years to 10 years. Next, the deferred payment scheme for new EC projects is totally removed. And third, this is the most impactful one. The first-timer quota is increased from 70% to 90%, which means the second-timer quota drops from 30% down to just 10%. And last time, second-timers can still buy 1 month later from launch day, but now they have to wait until 2 years later. Now for the MOP and the deferred payment scheme, honestly, for genuine own-stay buyers, I don't think this is going to be a huge issue. The one that is really going to change everything is this second-timer quota dropping to 10% and the 2-year wait. I'll show you exactly why. So why did the government step in? We need to understand this. It's 2 main reasons. Number 1, EC prices have been rapidly increasing in the launches over the past few years. Back in 2016, you can see over here, EC new launches were going at 782 per square foot. So by 2026, we have already crossed through 1,843 per square foot. That's more than double in 10 years, and to be honest, almost tripling soon at this rate lah. And if you look at the recent launches, they were all selling out within weeks, and I'm talking about fully sold out at 100%. So you can see the demand has been very strong. Number 2, more and more second-timers have been coming into the EC market over first-timers. So last time it used to be about 50-50, but according to MND, over the past 4 to 5 years, the proportion of the first-time buyers fell from 50% all the way down to just about 30 to 40%. Which means first-timers are getting lesser and lesser opportunity to actually buy into their home. So what the government is doing now with all these policy changes is to really make sure first-timers have a higher chance of getting a unit. Now, this is the part I really want you to pay attention to, because this is where most people don't fully understand the impact yet. So, before March 2012, second-timers could actually buy 5% of the units. Then from 2012 onwards, it became 30. And now on or after 8th of May 2026, it drops to just 10%. So what does this actually mean? Last time, say out of 600 units, second-timers could take up to 30%, which means on launch day, that's about 180 units that second-timers can buy. Once that quota hits, it stops. Then after just 1 month, the remaining units are released and second-timers can come back in to buy. Now, under the new rules, second-timers only can take 10%. So this is 60 units on launch day. And after that, they cannot come in after 1 month like before. They have to wait for a full 2 years. 2 years before the remaining units are even released to them. And here's the thing, in that 2 years, first-timers who were not ready during launch day, but probably now, when they're going to be taking up most of whatever units are left. So by the time second-timers can finally come in, there may be very little or even nothing left for them to buy. So end of day, it's not that second-timers don't want to buy. It's not that they don't want to wait 10 years MOP, but the real issue here is they are almost completely locked out. And I'll show you exactly how many people we are talking about with real numbers in the next few slides. So I'm going to use the most recent past EC launches as a concept case study just to show you what would have happened if the new rules were already in place back then. So first one, Orel of Tampines, 760 units in total. Under the old rules, 30% means that 228 second-timers can buy on launch day. And after launch, there were remaining of 99 units. So if you add that together, that's a total of about 327 second-timers who could have gotten a unit either on launch day or after, which is after the 1 month cutoff. Now, if this was under the new rules, only 10% can buy on launch day. So that's 76 second-timers. When I take 228 minus away the 10% who would have gotten a unit at launch day, that's 152 fewer second-timers who will not be able to buy anymore. And then they still have to wait 2 years before they can even try to buy the remaining 99 units. So 152 plus 99, that's 251 second-timers, 251 groups of people from just this one project alone who want to buy, who are ready to buy, but cannot. Next one, Autoplace, 600 units in total. Under the new rules, same thing, 30% means 180 second-timers could buy on launch day, and after launch, there were a remaining of 223 units. So how I came off to 223, I take 600 minus away the transactions that have been sold. Now, under the new rules, only 10% can buy. That's 60 second-timers on launch day, which means 180 minus away 60, that's 120 fewer second-timers again, not able to buy at launch. And then they still have to wait for 2 full years again before even they can look at the remaining 283 units. So we add up the remaining units left, the 120 that cannot buy at launch, that's 403 second-timers. 403 people from just this one project who aspire to buy, who have the means to buy, but then again, cannot. Now, we look at Coastal Cabana. Based on the same calculation, there will be 424 second-timers in the market who are also stuck. The same thing, Revel at Tampines just launched this year, which today is fully sold out, by the way. Same thing, 191 second-timers, if under the new ruling, will not be able to buy into the project. So all these second-timers, they will be looking to upgrade. Now, it's not that they don't want to buy, not that they don't want to wait for 10 years, but it's that they totally can't buy because there is a 2 years wait and this 2 years gap for them moving forward under the new EC rulings. So if you actually add all this together, Orel, Autoplace, Coastal Cabana, Revel at Tampines, we are looking at approximately 1,269 second-timers. 1,269 buyers who want to upgrade, who have the means to buy, who are ready to commit. But because of the new ruling, they cannot get into the EC market, the way that they used to. Now, I want to ask all of you watching, these 1,269 people, they don't just disappear, correct? They still want to buy, they still want to upgrade, they still have the budget. So the question is, where are they going to go? And that is exactly what I'm going to cover next, because this is where it starts to affect not just EC buyers, but all of us. So there are still 5 upcoming EC launches that are not affected by the new rules because their land was sold before 8 May 2026. The new regulations don't apply to them, so these 5 launches will still run under the old rulings. Now, I want you to think about this. Most of the second timers who are watching the market, they already know that once these 5 are gone, the next EC launches will all be under the new rules, which means this is genuinely their last chance to get into EC under the old quota. So, what do you think is going to happen? A lot of these buyers are going to think the same way. These 5 are not affected. Let me just go in now and buy. And when many buyers are all thinking the same thing, what happens? The take-up rate for these launches is potentially going to be higher than usual. Demand is going to be strong, especially from second-timers who know this is their last window. And I'm not even going to talk about what is going through the mind of the developers of these EC, these 5 ones especially, because as developers, they are business people. How would they be pricing these 5 launches moving forward when they already know what we know? This is something I really want you all to think about. Because will prices of these 5 ECs be cheap? But here's the reality of it. Not everyone who wants to buy is going to get a unit. And once these 5 are gone, the next batch will all be under the new rules. So only 10% can buy at launch. The rest will have to wait 2 years later to see if there's anything available left. And this is important. So those who try and still cannot get an EC, right? Where do they go next? So when they cannot buy, they will be looking at alternatives. So where will they look? They will be looking at projects that are nearest and closest in terms of prices comparable to EC. And this is why I say this affects everyone, not just EC buyers. Why? Let's look at the land prices for upcoming GLS plots in the OCR region, which is where most of the mass market private projects are. The trend is very clearly going upward. And if you look at where EC prices are today, above 1,800 per square foot, and then you look at some of these OCR projects, the gap is actually not that far off anymore. When you have 1,269 second timers who are stuck, plus whoever that can't get into the next upcoming 5 EC launches not affected by the new ruling yet, all of them are going to be looking at private property as their next best option. And these are motivated buyers. They are ready to upgrade. They have the means. They just can't get into EC anymore. And end of day, when demand goes up and supply stays the same, what happens to the price? Very definitely, it will go up. And we can already see it happening. Tengah Garden Residences, just launched in April this year, almost fully sold. The lowest sale was from 1,778 per square foot. Then we have Lentor Gardens Residences, which is going to be launching very soon on the 4th of July. We have Nara Residences at Dairy Farm. We have Lucerne Grand, which is launching soon also, probably sometime at the end of this year. These are projects sitting right at the price point closest to EC. And once this wave of EC buyers starts spilling over to the private market, can we anticipate what will happen next? Because moving forward, we still have Chincharu, Dairy Farm Walk, Thomson Grand, Hougang Central, all of these launches coming up progressively over the next few months. So what I'm trying to say is, if you wait for all these displaced EC buyers to eventually rush over to the private market, by the time that happens, the developers already know that the demand is there. And when demand is there, high chance they are going to raise the price here, especially for those projects that are priced closest to the EC. So end of day, what will happen is that these will slowly increase some of the private property prices. This one cannot run one. So if today you are looking at an EC, or you are looking to upgrade but you're not sure whether you want EC or private, I think it's really time to sit down and think. Do you want to go in now? Or do you want to wait for things to happen? Because if you are certain that you want to upgrade, I would strongly urge you to go in sooner rather than later. Don't wait for things to happen, because by the time it does, the prices would have already moved. But if you're still not sure whether to upgrade, whether to stay in your HDB for now, that's totally fine. End of day, it's your own decision and your own situation. But here's my honest advice. It's really very simple. If you really want to buy an EC, you can still go ahead and try for it, but give yourself a cut-off. Don't go through all 5 launches. Try maybe 2, maximum 3. If after all of the balloting, you still can't get a unit or at the price that you want, then cut off and go look at all the options you have in private properties that is available. Some of you may already be immediately looking into the private market today. Because if you wait for all 5 and still can't get a unit right, by the time you come back into the private market, prices would have already moved. You might end up getting nothing in the EC market and potentially a higher entry price in private. And to me, that is the riskiest position to be in. So I would say do not wait for all 5, because that will be very risky for you. This is one of the key things and key changes that I feel is going to affect the whole market in this new EC ruling. But of course, there will be other factors that is going to affect the EC market. Things like how it's going to affect future EC prices, EC resale prices, and so on. But I'm not going to cover all of that in this video. What I really want you to take away today is how this affects you as a buyer and whether private property prices are going to go up even more because of this. So in short, because of this influx of displaced second-timer EC buyers, every year going forward, there will be a pool of buyers who were waiting to buy an EC but now cannot. These are upgraders who have the budget and the intention. And when this pool of buyers flows into the private market, demand goes up, but supply doesn't increase overnight. The private projects that are sitting at land prices of around $900 to $1,000 per square foot per plot ratio, these are getting fewer and fewer. So very naturally, prices for those projects will be pushed up because they are the closest in terms of the pricing to the EC. So please don't wait too long. Take action sooner rather than later. The rules have changed, the buyers are still there, and they all need somewhere to go. So that's a wrap for episode 3. I hope this video has given you a clearer picture of what these EC policy changes actually mean, not just for EC buyers, but for all of us in the market. If you're not sure where you stand, whether you're a first-timer, a second-timer, or someone who has plans and looking around in the market, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to sit down and go through your situation with you. And if you found this video helpful, please do like and subscribe to my channel because it really helps reach more people who need this kind of information. Once again, my name is Amanda and I'll see you in the next episode.